Thank you for your upcoming participation in an event sanctioned by FSMA, the Florida School Music Association. FSMA prohibits and has a zero tolerance for sexual abuse, misconduct, harassment, or molestation during any activity. To read the full sexual misconduct policy online, please visit floridaschoolmusic.org, click About, and look under the Policies heading. This page contains the link to the full sexual misconduct, molestation, abuse, and harassment policy, the acknowledgment form, this training video, and frequently asked questions about the policy and the required acknowledgment form. Here are the key points of this policy. The Florida School Music Association prohibits and has a zero tolerance for sexual abuse, misconduct, harassment, or molestation in the workplace or during any organization-related activity. FSMA provides procedures for employees, volunteers, board members, students, parents, or other victims of abuse or misconduct to report such improper and illegal acts. Any real or suspected sexual harassment or abuse witnessed must be reported immediately. An adult should never be alone with a student. There must be a chaperone-to-student ratio of at least 1 to 10, and students must be supervised at all times. Participating directors should coordinate with their chaperones to make sure that all students are supervised by an adult director or chaperone at all times. Sexual abuse or misconduct may include, but is not limited to, any sexual activity, involvement, or attempt of sexual contact with a person who is a minor under 18 years of age, any student at an FSMA member's school regardless of age, or any person legally incompetent or unable to give consent. Physical assaults or violence such as rape, sexual battery, abuse, molestation, or any attempt to commit such acts. Unwanted or intentional physical conduct that could be perceived to be sexual in nature. Sending, delivering, or displaying inappropriate materials such as pornographic or sexually explicit images or objects. Any unwelcome and or inappropriate sexual activities. These may include unwelcome advances, comments, innuendos, bullying, sexual or suggestive jokes, sexual or suggestive gestures, messages sent electronically or in person, exploitation, exposure, stalking, or invasion of sexual privacy. Interfering with the performance or the ability to effectively do one's job by creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment due to actions, comments, or conduct. Or sexual grooming, which is the building of a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with someone in order to manipulate, exploit, and or sexually abuse that person. Abuse or suspected abuse cannot be ignored. Any person who witnesses or feels they have been a victim of sexual abuse or misconduct should report the suspected abuse or misconduct immediately. They may report it to a member of the FSMA Executive Board or Ethics Committee, a director or teacher, or the district chair. The district chair will report it to the component president and executive director and local law enforcement or the Florida Abuse Hotline of the Department of Children and Families at 1-800-96-ABUSE. The victim of sexual abuse or misconduct does not have to directly confront the offending person before reporting the abuse or misconduct. FSMA prohibits retaliation against any employee, volunteer, board member, or any other person who lodges a good faith complaint of abuse or misconduct, or who participates in any related investigation. The Florida School Music Association provides these requirements for all adults working with minors at an MPA or any FSMA-sanctioned activity. All adjudicators must have had a background check within the last 5 years. No adult should ever be alone with a student. At solo and ensemble MPA, all soloists should have another adult with them, such as their accompanist, teacher, parent, or chaperone. District chairs should make sure that directors are aware that one of their duties as a participating director is to coordinate with their chaperones to make sure this is covered for each of their performances. If you are an adjudicator and a student enters with no other adults, make another adult aware of the situation and leave the door to the room open and unlocked. A minimum ratio of 1 adult volunteer who has been background checked to every 10 students should be maintained unless a member school is required by its school district to provide a greater number of chaperones than this 1 to 10 ratio. While at an FSMA-sanctioned event, all students must remain supervised at the ratio required by FSMA, and they must remain within the area assigned to them by the MPA officials. Thank you for your attention during the short overview training on the FSMA Sexual Misconduct, Molestation, and Harassment Policy. For more details or answers to any questions you may have, we advise you to please read through the entire policy by visiting floridaschoolmusic.org/about and click the Sexual Misconduct Policy link.